name is Alvin Byrd Jr. and I love to say my name because I have the same name my father had. My father thought enough of me when I was born to name me after him, and I take that as a privilege and a pleasure. I grew up in 5th Ward in Houston, Texas, where we are right now. Attended Phyllis Wheaton High School, and from there, Texas Southern University. After TSU, joined the United States Navy, stayed 10 years, then the Navy told me they needed the closet space, and they asked me to leave. Right now, I am the Chief of Staff for City Councilman Richard Wynn, which represents District F. That's the A-Leaf and the Southwest area. First and foremost, I just want to give honor to God for the transformation that has occurred in my life. Some of the obstacles that I've encountered was I'm a recovering drug addict, been sober for 17 years. Did drugs and alcohol every day. Matter of fact, I didn't know anybody who didn't do drugs and alcohol. I grew up in a communalistic society where we were basically confined to our own neighborhood, and so I took on the characteristics of my neighborhood. During that time, I grew up in the 60s, the hippie days, got addicted to drugs and alcohol. Had some devastating times in my life, some turbulent times, but right now, due to the process of recovery, I've been able to sustain from doing drugs and alcohol one day at a time for 17 years.
It's a major accomplishment.
Absolutely. But I give all the credit and the glory to a God of my understanding. Well, one of the things that my addiction had a double edge to it, such as a double-edged sword, that I did all of my destruction in my neighborhood, but I got clean and sober in my neighborhood simply because of the fact that folks before me, they had the vision and the foresight to have a treatment facility right here in 5th Ward. And I got a chance to go to that treatment facility, Houston Recovery Campus. So not only did I have a place where I did my destruction, but I also came back to a place where I did construction. Got a chance to recover in my neighborhood and get involved in the civic process. The community saw fit to allow me to be president of our civic organization, our Super Neighborhood Council, which, it was such a pleasure and an honor to even be considered to do that, just thinking about what my past was like, and to have these same folks who watched me struggle through that addiction also embrace me in my recovery process. So during my time as the Super Neighborhood Council president, we had an opportunity to work with the City of Houston's reentry program, which is now located over at the Casman Garden Multi-Service Center, where we were able to help some folks get job ready, get prepared for employment. And I got a chance to work at Career and Recovery Resources, which is designed for people like myself recovering from drugs and folks who have been through the system, and help them with employment needs. Ironically, while I was working for Career and Recovery Resources, they decided to bring a satellite office to 5th Ward, and lo and behold, they approached me with it, and somebody got to do it, and what a better candidate to do that than me. So Got a chance to work with some men. I worked at Star Hope. I worked at Bread of Life through St. John's Ministry at Daybreak. Worked at the Resurrection House. Worked at Extended Aftercare and Hope Development. So I got a chance to kind of get a feel for a lot of social service programs to help folks re-enter into society. I'm not jaded by the fact that we're equal. I've never ever for 1 second thought that that was a level playing field when it came to black males. By growing up in an area like Fifth Ward, there was always contention between the justice system and the guys that lived in my neighborhood. The Trayvon Martin case, I lost hope. You know, at first that was just a glimmer that, you know, by African American men becoming involved in the system, working with the system, one would think that if not us being able to deal with the system head on, that we would be able to educate our young brothers and sisters, especially our brothers, about the trials of dealing with police officers and not just law enforcement, but folks who tend to hide behind the training that they get. Say, for instance, the young man that killed Trayvon, who basically was what we call in my neighborhood a wannabe. He wanted to be a law enforcement officer, and he used his training to murder this young man. And once again, the system let us down. Trayvon Martin's death has been in vain, basically. It's because from the day that the young man was murdered, I still, you know, like to this day, it's almost like we've been quiet about it. You know? And it's a travesty that his family has to struggle through that alone. We're not helping. Well, let me put it to you like this. I don't think we're helping enough to rectify what happened to him. One thing I am grateful for in the Bobby Tolan, the Robbie Tolan case is that I noticed you mentioned that 2 of the young brothers were killed. Well, Robbie could have been killed as well, because I'm pretty sure that police officer shot the kid. Yeah. But now the chickens come home to roost. The Supreme Court brought his case, reinstated his case, so hopefully justice will be served. Now, by no means am I expecting it. I'm just saying that it should happen. Yes. One of the things I want to do, and I've been a part of some wonderful outreach programs in regards to helping young men grow into men, adults, is I want to try to make sure that there's enough funding for some of these programs to flourish. We have a program right now in our community called Fifth Ward Enrichment. It's 40 years old right now. And it's sad to say that they rely a lot on become self-sufficient. We need some folks who have basically made it, what we would consider doing pretty well, that they need to come and give back to these neighborhoods. That's why economic development and community development is so important in an area like this, that we have to not only inform but remind people that this is where you came from. You need to come back and lend a helping hand.